Namo Amitabha Buddha. Hello everyone. So today I feel like sharing about the story of Bodhisattva Nagarjuna. So a few days ago was a special day in Chinese Mahayana Buddhism, the 24th day of the 7th lunar month, which marks the birthday of Bodhisattva Nagarjuna. And for those who study Mahayana Buddhism, one may be familiar with the name of Bodhisattva Nagarjuna. So he is the founder of the middle way school, which best illustrates the doctrine of Shunyata, emptiness, and follows the idea of Bodhisattva. He is also known as the second Buddha, who is most credited with recovering the hidden teachings of the Buddha. And he wrote extensively over 1,000 treatises, commentaries on the Buddha's discourses, and to best illustrate the doctrines in Mahayana Buddhism and defends Mahayana Buddhism as the genuine teaching of the Buddha. So Mahayana Buddhism is really indeed the genuine teaching of the Buddha. If you look at any of the sutras in Mahayana Buddhism, you will realize that for sutras like this, with such great wisdom, one actually has to be enlightened in order to speak words like this. And these are really coming from the words by the Buddha. And he is regarded also as the common patriarch of all 8 different schools in Chinese Mahayana Buddhism. So this includes Chinese Pure Land Buddhism. So Chinese Pure Land Buddhism also originated from India. And if we were talk about the Pure Land Patriarch in India, then it would have been, for sure, the first patriarch has to be Bodhisattva Nagarjuna. Now the arrival of Bodhisattva Nagarjuna is actually predicted in the sutra by Shakyamuni Buddha. In Delhi, in the southern part, a monk most illustrious and distinguished will be born. His name is Nagavaya. He is the destroyer of one-sided views based on being and non-being. He will declare my vehicle, the unsurpassed Mahayana, to the world, attaining the stage of joy, live for over 600 years, and he will go to the land of ultimate bliss. Bodhisattva Nagarjuna was born into a rich Brahmin family in South India. When he was young, he was extremely smart and intelligent, and he was well versed with all the knowledge that was available then. And he could recite the Vedas when he first heard it. And one day he felt, okay, there was probably nothing else to learn. What's left is just to pursue desire and pleasures. So he and a few friends, they learned a trick on how to be invisible, and they decided to sneak into the palace to flirt with some court ladies. And one court lady actually got pregnant, and when the king found out, he was absolutely furious. So the king shut all the doors in the palace and ordered over 100 soldiers to use the knives to cut through the air, so to kill those people who knew how to be invisible. And they killed all Nagarjuna's friends. Nagarjuna, knowing how to be invisible, actually stood behind the king. So he was really lucky that he escaped this. And he realized that such tragedy was actually caused by the pursuit of desire and pleasures. And he realized how the Buddha's words, the Four Noble Truths, the root of suffering is indeed attachment to desire. And he realized this was really the truth. And he decided to take the monastic life and to follow the teaching of the Buddha. Now at that time, he studied all the Hinayana teachings that was available then under 3 months. And after 3 months, he already read all the sutras that were available at that time. And he became a bit arrogant and thought, oh, so that is just the teaching of Shakyamuni Buddha. Although the teaching of the Buddha was good, but it did not seem to be complete. So he was going to start his own movement and have his own disciples and set up new precepts and all that. And at this time, Bodhisattva Da Long, so in Chinese literally translated as big dragon, so the big dragon Bodhisattva, who is actually the king of Naga. So Naga means serpent-like dragons. So the king of Naga also was transformed by a bodhisattva. So the king of Naga took pity on Bodhisattva Nagarjuna and invited him to go with him to the palace of Nagas in the undersea to actually see the hidden sutras of the Buddha. Now, upon hearing this, some people may be like, are there really Nagas or dragons in the world? Yes, there are, just in different dimensions. There are many different types of beings that exist in different dimensions. Just because we can't see doesn't mean that they don't exist. The Nagas are actually also Dharma protectors, and the king of Naga promised to guard the Buddha Dharma. So he went into the palace of the dragons and saw the complete teachings of Shakyamuni Buddha. And they were just so many sutras that were not actually available in the human world because no one could possibly understand it. The sutras that are available in the human realm are actually very, very little. This we'll know more after we seek rebirth to the Pure Land. And he also saw the complete volumes of the Avatamsaka Sutra, so also known as the Flower Adornment Sutra in English. So the complete volumes of the Avatamsaka Sutra is just too grand, too inconceivable for any person in the Saha world to actually study it, to actually comprehend it. So he decided to only bring a very small section of the last volume of the Avatamsaka Sutra back to the world. So already about 100,000 verses, and he could remember all of it with his memories. So he also brought other sutras such as the Saragama Sutra and the Prajnaparamita Sutras. So he recovered a lot of the hidden sutras from the Palace of Dragons and brought it back to the Saha world. And after that, he wrote extensively. He wrote a lot of treatises, over 1,000 treatises, to illustrate the teachings of the Buddha, to illustrate the doctrine of Mahayana Buddhism, particularly the doctrine of Shunyata, emptiness. And he really advocated the teaching of Mahayana Buddhism. So in Chinese Mahayana Buddhism, he is actually regarded as the common patriarch for all different Mahayana schools. And his writings are actually relevant for all Mahayana schools. And he also wrote about the Pure Land Dharma, and he highly recommended people to practice the Pure Land Dharma, given that it is the easiest, as one relies on the power of Amitabha Buddha to seek rebirth to the Pure Land. And upon attaining rebirth to the Pure Land, one can realize enlightenment to the stage of non-regression. So he highly recommends this Dharma gate. So what's important to know is that even Bodhisattva Nagarjuna also sought rebirth to the land of ultimate bliss. So someone may think, oh, the Pure Land Dharma is just for people maybe who are stupid or even lazy, and for people who can't realize enlightenment in one lifetime. For Bodhisattva Nagarjuna, when he was on earth, he already realized enlightenment to the stage of joy. So the stage of joy is actually the first stage of ground, a very high level of enlightenment for Bodhisattvas. So he already realized that while he was on earth. But still, for this highly enlightened Bodhisattva, he will still seek rebirth to the Pure Land. This is because when they are in Pure Land, they can realize Buddhahood fastest. So this is also the same as we see in the last chapter of the Avatamsaka Sutra, the practices and vows of Bodhisattva Samadabhadra. All these highly enlightened Bodhisattvas, such as Bodhisattva Samadabhadra, Bodhisattva Manjushri, also Bodhisattva Mature, all of them you will actually meet in the Pure Land. All of them also sought rebirth to the Pure Land to learn from Amitabha Buddha so they can realize Buddhahood as fast as possible. So even for highly enlightened beings, they would still seek rebirth to the Pure Land. So what's so unique about this Pure Land Dharma is that It's actually suitable for people with all different kinds of capacities, intelligence, and different kinds of good roots, including for those who are utmost intelligent like Bodhisattva Nagarjuna, and also for those who may have committed a lot of evil deeds and willing to take the change of heart at the time of death. If they're willing to believe in Amitabha Buddha and vow to seek rebirth to the Pure Land and recite the name of Amitabha Buddha, they can still seek rebirth to the Pure Land. So the Pure Land Dharma is described like this in Chinese. 三根普被立顿全收, which means that it's available for people with all different roots and capacities, upper, middle, and lower. And whether you are someone with utmost intelligence or you are a bit slow, it doesn't matter. Amitabha Buddha's great vows can save us all. So one can definitely trust that Amitabha Buddha and the Pure Land Dharma is definitely the teaching of the Buddha, and even Bodhisattva Nagarjuna will seek rebirth to the Pure Land. So what says about ordinary beings like us? So we are also grateful for Bodhisattva Nagarjuna's teaching. So may all beings hear the name of Amitabha Buddha and be reborn into the land of ultimate bliss. Namo Bodhisattva Nagarjuna, Namo Amitabha Buddha, Namo Amitofo.